Hi there, it's Sarah from Kalm Pilates, and in this video we're going to do a short workout for complete beginners who are new to Pilates, and it's for back care. So if you have back pain, you want to do Pilates but you're a bit intimidated because Pilates is technical, there's definitely a Pilates technique you need to grasp, then this is a good starting point. I've selected the exercises that are foolproof. You can't do much wrong and they do really work. Now, if you suffer from back pain and it comes and goes and you're really frustrated with it, I would say watch my free webinar on how to get rid of back pain in 4 easy steps. I promise you will learn something in there, and it's the knowledge that will help you on your path of recovery. It's totally free. It's in the box below, so you can just sign up there. Perfect, let's get going. The first exercise we're going to do is your box plank. From all the planks, this is the one plank you can't do much wrong. So that the wrists are going to be under the shoulders, the knees are under the hips, we're taking our toes under, and I just need you to be aware of your back. So take your tailbone under a little bit so you have a flat back that would be able to balance lots of cups and saucers, right? So if you know that this is you, take your tailbone under, make it flat, take the toes under, and we're going to float, right? Now when you're here, it is hard. I'm not saying it's an easy plank, I'm just saying you can't do much wrong. You will be in the right position here. Your abs will want to hang to the floor, but I need you to, on the out breath, to pull the abs really tight, as high as you can in the body. Breathe in, you slight relax. As you breathe out, tighten those abs. So tightening means bring your belly button towards the spine. 4 more breaths. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Well done. Come onto the knees, big toes together. Sit back, rotate your wrists. We're doing that once again in a second. That's it. You know what's coming now. You know what to do. And with planks, all planks, not just the box plank, it's all about breathing, because that's how you engage your core. Okay? So don't just hold the pose. As you're there, focus on pulling those abs upwards. Here we go. So you put yourself back in your box position, tailbone slightly under, onto the ball of the feet. Breathe in. As you breathe out, here we go. Okay, so when you're here, focus on your breathing. Widen into the ribs, you breathe in. As you breathe out, you tighten. Belly button towards the spine. That's it. Now notice that my shoulders are not rounded, right? So I want you to keep your shoulders nice and open. This is not a shoulder exercise per se. This is about core. Your shoulders are just supporting. Last 4. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Well done. Come into your child pose. Release the wrists again. That's it. Sometimes it can be quite nice to have the hands forward, have your forehead on the mat. That is lovely too. Well done, well done. From here, come onto hands and knees, so all fours, and we're going to take a big step forwards with your left leg. So breathe in here. As you breathe out, we're taking the leg forward. If you get stuck halfway, just slide it with a bit of help and take your back knee further back. The toes, take them from the front to the side. And then I want you to just open up that area. So you have a big distance between the knee at the back and the leg at the front. And I want you to sway. Tight hip flexors can be a cause of back pain. So we're just going to open up those hip flexors. Swaying left to right. That's it. If you don't feel this stretch, it's probably because you're here. You've done this. And you're like, I can't feel it. It's because your back knee is too high. Take it further back. Your hips have to drop. Don't hold them. Let your hips hang and just relax. When you stretch, you're not powering through. Instead, we're switching off the muscles. Let them relax. With stretches, you want to hold them around 30 seconds. If you feel it gets easier, you go a little bit deeper. And then from there, we're going to just take that knee back to where it came from. Other side, so a little bit of momentum from the back to the front. When you're at the front, you take your toes to the side because it externally rotates your thigh, and take your knee back. Create the biggest opening between the heel at the front and the knee at the back, and sway left to right. You will find little pockets of tension, and that's where you want to go to. No need to push, you just open up and relax. Well done, well done. Last 4, last 3, last 2, you got this. Last one, well done. Okay, that knee comes back. From here, we're going to come into seated. Now, I'm going to take my knees to the front, cross them and move over. But if you want to come in any other way, to come into this position, that's fine. All right, you can straighten out the legs, flex the toes so that the calf muscles are engaged and lengthen through the spine. If you find being in a long position here difficult, some people find that they're here, they just can't get forward. It probably has to do with your hip flexor tightness. So what you want to do then is just make it forward as much as you can. Kind of fake it to make it in this position. So just if it feels a bit uncomfortable, you're not doing any damage, just keep it there. Bend your elbows as if you're hugging a big Swiss ball. Now take your tailbone under. So do you see that my back is going to melt and the abs are going to go into that place as I go back. So I'm now pulling my abs really tight, but my shoulders are relaxed. Breathe in. As I breathe out, I tighten my abs and I'm rolling back over, keeping the curve, as if I'm diving over the Swiss ball towards my ankles. Little stretch at the top, and then I'm straightening my spine. I'm actually stacking the vertebrae, straightening out, shoulders drop, head lift. Breathe in. As I breathe out, tailbone goes under. You got this. Your legs may shorten a little bit, they come in a little bit, that's okay. Tighten here. Breathe in. As you breathe out, tighten the abs before you move. Keep the curve because you want to imagine that you're diving over that ball in front of you. Straighten out. Keeping the elbows bent is really important because otherwise you do this and this is what happens. As you go up, you start reaching with the shoulders, and I don't want you to do that. It needs to come from your upper body, not from your arms. 3 more. Breathe in, breathe out. How low you go is very personal. So when people are starting out, they may find that they're here and they're shaking, they can't control it much more than here. That's fine. Other people will be quite low immediately. That's fine too. Breathe in. As you breathe out, that's the beauty about Pilates, is that it will be individual where your sweet spot is. Breathe in, breathe out. I lost count, but let's say last 2. That's it. Breathe in. As you breathe out, you tighten, you dive over. Last one coming up. Tailbone under, abs go tight. Control those abs. Breathe in at your lowest point into the ribs. As you breathe out, you tighten those abs, and we go all the way to the front. Well done. Just release and take your legs into a cross-legged position, move side to side. Just releasing the hips. Well done. Perfect. Now I'm going to show you our teaser pose, but it's not the advanced version, or both pose in yoga, same thing. But we're doing it with the technique to hold your core, which is what is really important. If you want to protect your back, your core needs to be strong. So we're going to have your legs in front, have the hands behind the thigh. Now you need to switch on the core, but you can't do that if you just hinge back. All the pressure goes in your back. So you need to melt, take the tailbone under. And as you do that, your abs sink in. You've got enough core strength there now to lift your legs. Get your shins to be parallel to the floor. If they're here, rise them up for me, please, so that your quads are engaged. I know. Shoulders away, lengthen through the collarbones. You got this. Now, it really depends again on your strength in your core already. So if you're new, you'll find that people have to hold on because they find this quite challenging. They may be even shaking already. That's absolutely fine. You just have to stay here until, you get better and better and you don't need to anymore. You could go for 2 fingers for support, or maybe you can let go. Shoulders are open. This has nothing to do with engaging shoulders. So keep the shoulders open, engage your core, breathe in wide. As you breathe out, tighten. That's it, give me 5 more breaths. Last 4. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Well done. Cross the legs again, release, because your legs have to hold that position in the air, so they will really welcome a bit of a release there. Perfect. And then come into laying down position. So with control, find your way down to the floor. Just a quick release for your glutes. We're going to take your legs into a figure 4, bend your knees and then hands through the window. You can go for your thigh or for your shin, but the most important thing is that you keep yourself on the mat and that your knee stays wide. So if you need more, you can just gently press against that knee as you pull yourself in. You're looking for a stretch on the side and over your bum cheek, so your glute muscles. Doing well, doing well. And again, you may find it eases off after 20 seconds. Then you go a little bit closer. And then we're going to swap. That's it. So we're going to hook, keep your knee nice and wide through the window. You can go for the thigh, you can go for the shin. Keep your upper body down on the floor and gently press against if you can, if you need to, because if you feel it already here, you may not need the additional push. That's it. Just breathe. When you stretch, you try not to feel tense, you try and relax. Well done. Last 2. Last 1. Well done. Hug your knees and just draw a circle with your lower back to release. Okay, and release. Perfect. Come onto your side. So from here, just come onto one hip bone. Elbow is underneath you. Knees are in front. Your ankles, your hips and your shoulders follow one line and your knees are naturally in front. Now, this is relaxing. This is getting ready to work. So make sure your waist is already lifted and that you're sort of actively pressing that forearm into the mat. Your spare hands will come in useful to just gently prop you up onto the knees. And we're going to reach as high as you can. Take this bottom hip bone to the front. Perfect. We're going to do hip dips, right? We're going to bring the hips down and straight back up. Now it's really important that the hips stay pushing to the front as well, as if both hip bones want to press against that pane of glass that is shooting from the edge of your mat. So you really want to keep working forward as well. Nice and high as at the same time. Now it's all about breathing. Pilates is all about breathing. So you breathe out to the top, you tighten your abs, you breathe in, you slight release. You breathe out, you tighten, slight release. Last 4. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Well done. Gently come down onto your hips. Push yourself up and open your knees a little bit. So you come into this lovely mermaid pose. Hand goes near your foot. So the hand that was up in the air is the one that you place near your foot. The other hand is going to come over. And immediately I push my hip bone the other way because we're trying to create the biggest stretch for your waist. Perfect. So when you're here, if you want more, you just try and get that hand to reach over the bottom hand, creating a C shape. And release from there. We're going to just swap the legs to the other side plank. So hands, elbow, shoulder, everything nicely aligned, and then ankles, hips and shoulders also aligned. Knees to the front. This is relaxing, this is working, and then use your spare hand to come onto the fleshy bits of your knees. Reach up. In this position, a lot of people let their bottom hip bone draw back. I need you to push it forward and breathe. We're going to breathe in towards the floor, breathe out, press as high as you can. we're going beyond diagonal. So we're just going to press those hips as high as we can. Well done, well done. Lots of support work there for your obliques. So if you have a strong core and your obliques are not your primary core muscles, but they are secondary, so everything there is going to just protect the spine. The stronger you can make that midsection, the better. Last 3. Last 2. Last one. High and gently calm down. From here, we're going to take our knees open again into that lovely position here. Hand that was up in the air is the one that comes down and reach over. If you struggle with getting your knees in this position, you can do straighten out the legs if you need to. It's not a problem. Push your hip that way actively as you reach over. And relax. That's it. When a stretch feels very tight, you can find it quite hard to relax. So really consciously make an effort as you exhale to let go. When you do stretches, the Pilates breathing is not required. So you know, the pulling in of the abs, all of that is when we do the strength exercises, not when you do your stretches. You just relax. A little bit deeper, last 2. Last one, well done. And come back in the middle. Cross your legs. Well done. Perfect, well done. Thank you for joining me on the mat for this session. I hope this will help you in strengthening your back. As I mentioned, if you want to actually understand what's going on with your back and the 4 steps you need to take to get pain-free, come and check out my free 30-minute webinar, and I promise you, you will understand a bit more about what's going on in your body. Great, I hope to see you on the mat very soon, and have a lovely day. Bye.